Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to the final segment of the show. As with every week, now it's time for us to go to Sister Sidra Zaidi and find out what tip she has for us this week.
Assalamu alaikum, my name is Sidra and I'm your life coach. This week's topic is all about mastering yourself and how to take responsibility for your actions and your non-actions. One way to take charge of your life and mastering yourself is to have a clarity of purpose and knowing exactly what is your intention for doing anything. Unfortunately, in this world, we do so many things and spend so much time in doing things which are not in alignment with our real vision. So next time you do any task or commit yourself to do anything, ask yourselves these two questions. For what purpose am I doing this, and what would this get you? And once you get the answer and you're satisfied with it, only then commit yourself or do that task which is in alignment with your real mission. Good luck with that. And if you want any further information or need any help, drop me an email and I would be happy to answer them. Assalamu alaikum.
Wow, mastering yourself. I mean, this fits in with our hadith that we talked about earlier, doesn't it? And I really like how she talks about that concept of making sure that, in a way, she's saying stay focused, isn't she? Always make sure you know what your goal is and how you're going to get towards that. You know, and I know that for Muslims, a lot of Muslims talk about their ultimate goal is Jannah. But I don't know, for me, I don't know what you think, but for me, my ultimate goal is making sure I've actually achieved what I want to in this life. Not necessarily because obviously we all want to go to Jannah, inshallah we all will, but it's more of a, you know, there's things that I want to make sure I've left behind as well when I leave. And so you've got to stay focused throughout all the problems and hardships. And even like when, for me personally, I lose focus when I'm having fun. It's really easy to lose focus, and so you always have to maintain that sense of where am I going and keeping that control of yourself so that you do achieve what you need to. I don't know whether that's the same for you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's just like keeping that, you know, that aim, that goal in your head all the time. And you're, like you said, you know, you can easily lose focus if you're, you know, relaxed or having fun, etc. But and also there's you just want to, like you said, you want to leave something behind. And I think, isn't there a hadith by Mahdiyya where he actually even says that you know, be with people in such a way that after you've gone that they yearn for your presence. So maybe that's something that we can also, you know, think about. And also mastering yourself, it's also like that VT that we showed in the first segment of our show, archery. And in a way that was also kind of, it helps, even sport and other things can help master yourself as well and get to your aim. And so if you want to master yourself physically, because obviously when we go to, you know, when we die, we have to make sure that we try and give our bodies back in the best possible way, because our bodies are not ours, it's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's. So in fact, if you look at our whole life, our whole aspect, there are ways that we can, you know, help master ourselves.
I really like that point actually about making sure that we give our bodies back, well, make sure that they are well looked after. Absolutely, completely agree, and inshallah we can all work towards that.
Okay, well now it's time for Fact of the Week. So Humera, what fact have you picked for us today?
Well, I picked a really random fact, but I just thought it was nice because I've been talking about this a lot with friends actually, milk. My fact is that camel milk is so much better for us than cow's milk. And I didn't know this before, but apparently camel's milk is slightly salty, so it is an acquired taste. Obviously we don't get it down here, so I personally have never tried it. But it's actually supposed to be 10 times richer than cow's milk in terms of the vitamins that we actually need. Vitamins B and C, and it also has more iron within than cow's milk does as well. I just picked this because of the fact that apparently when I was reading up, and a lot of people in the West are actually trying to get camel milk sold down here now because of the fact that it's so much richer in vitamins. And I know another thing that I've been talking about with friends is that I know quite a few people who have issues drinking cow's milk. And they've been told it's better to drink goat's milk, for example. I was told that too. It just, you know, some people have issues with digestion, or it can cause certain reactions. And I know a lot of my friends at work especially are trying to drink lactose-free milk and all those kind of things, or soya milk instead.
Wow, I had no idea that camel milk was better than cow milk. I've never tried, obviously, camel milk, but I wonder whether cow milk is more expensive than cow milk. Maybe that's why it's not widely available. But also, wouldn't it be a bit strange to have milk that was a bit salty?
It might be a bit strange, but I don't know. Have you ever tried, my mum's recently been making what we call namkeen chai, which is this kind of salty tea. And it's like pink in colour, and that's not weird to taste, and it's quite milky and it's quite salty. So maybe camel milk wouldn't be that weird. And to be honest, I'd be up for drinking it even if it was salty. If it's got 10 times more iron in it than cow's milk and it's better for you, then we really do need it in the West.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'd probably have a go at trying it as well, just to see what it tastes like. So that's an interesting fact. Thanks for that, Humera. Okay, well now it's time to take a look at the next episode of Humeras video ziyarat journal. This is the 4th part, so yeah, let's take a look.
They were brought here on the 1st of Safar, and each one of them began to describe what they went through when they went through this exact bazaar here that you see.
Walking through Bazaar-e-Sham, and we had Brother Hussein Virji reciting a Noha for us. So we did Mahdiyya coming down Bazaar-e-Sham, and it was very emotional, because you could imagine, obviously, looking up at the windows around and people staring at us, how it must have felt for the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. And also, we got the feeling even today that people were looking at us when we were doing Mahdiyya and very much not really understanding where we're coming from and why we are mourning such people as well. And so, you can kind of, in maybe 1%, imagine how they must have felt walking through Bazaar-e-Sham. After walking through Bazaar-e-Sham, we obviously went to what's known as Yazid's Darbar, or otherwise the Umayyad Palace, which is very beautiful but very eerie and quite sad to be in as well. We were taken, luckily we had a chance to go and see where they actually placed Imam Hussein's head within the palace as well. For security reasons we couldn't necessarily get a camera in, but we've tried to capture as much as we can through other ways. We are now beside Sayyida Ruqayya, and we just managed to go to the Dari and pay our salams.
السلام عليك يا بنت أمير المؤمنين علي بن أبي طالب. السلام عليك يا بنت فاطمة الزهراء سيدة نساء العالمين. السلام عليك يا بنت خديجة الكبرى أم المؤمنين والمؤمنات. السلام عليك يا بنت ولي الله. السلام عليك يا أخت ولي الله. السلام عليك يا بنت الحسين الشهيد. السلام عليك أيتها الصديقة الشهيدة. السلام عليك أيتها الرضية المرضية.
Okay, so we are here literally by the side of me here on the right is Sayyida Ruqayya. Where Sayyida Ruqayya was buried. We just went in for a majlis. We managed to go to the Dari and pay our salams as well. The majlis is obviously very sad, picturing how a young girl felt when she found out that her father had been brutally murdered. So that was very emotional. We managed to do Mahdiyya as well, because we had Brother Hussein Virji and another brother who's actually come from London in a different ziyarat group reciting for us. So as you can see, we're walking through the streets now. Again, Sayyidah Ruqayya is on my right hand side. It's very much probably like it would have been back in the day, in the sense that, you know, people are selling fruit here, selling shoes there, and so you get a feel of what it would have been like for, you know, Bibi Zainab alayhi salam, Imam Zain al-Abidin alayhi salam. Obviously what we're missing is that hatred that people had for them and what they had been through. So it's very hard for us to perhaps picture how hard the situation must have been for them. But being able to retrace their steps has been a really interesting experience.
Okay, great. Another fantastic installment of your diary. So last week we actually saw you, you know, going through Bazar al-Sham and visiting the Umayyad Mosque, where obviously, you know, the great Lady Zainab and Imam Zain al-Abidin alayhi salam had actually done their sermons towards Yazid. So, and then obviously you made your way to Sayyidah Ruqayya's haram. What was it like, you know, finally, you know, going to see Sayyidah Ruqayya and her haram? Because obviously you had to walk through the actual bazaar. It's not easy to get to, is it?
No, it's not easy at all. It's in terms of distance, it's not far. It's just round the corner. But there's so many shops along the way, and the streets are quite narrow. And when you're travelling with about 100 people, you know, we all need to make sure we stick together. It's not that easy. People are really interested to see where you've come from and where you're going. So there's a lot of like banter in the streets, and getting there is it's amazing because it's such a it's quite small, relatively small, I guess, compared to the other mosques, harams that you visit. But it's beautiful inside and well organized, and as with everywhere, you know, you just meet so many different types of people. And we actually got there in time for Maghrib as well, so it's really an honour to be able to pray there.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I thought that there was, they've got some beautiful artwork actually in Sayyidah Ruqayya's, especially in the extended part. When I was just absolutely fascinated when I went myself as well last year, and I was just totally impressed. And I think you're right. The organisation is better, especially compared to Sayyidah Zainab, where I felt definitely there was a lack of organisation. But I think it's because there are completely different people that are sort of controlling and organising the two different harams.
I wasn't aware of that, but I think it's more probably the fact that it just seems quite small compared to the other harams. I know that Lady Zainab's alayhi salam is I guess small, but because it's on its own, I've always found that, you know, and obviously because of the character that she was, it's much busier. And so we, you know, like I said, we got the opportunity to read Maghrib there, and then after Maghrib we all met to listen to Sayyidah Umara speak about Sayyidah Ruqayya and how her journey was for her, the closeness that she had with her father, for example. And we had Brother Mustafa Masood reciting for us, so that was, he recited Ziyarah for us, so that was lovely.
Did Sayyid Ammar or Sheikh Ayub actually explain why there was a difference between different people of different continents and cultures, how they refer to Sayyidah Ruqayya? Because obviously in the Asian subcontinent, we know that she is referred to as Bibi Sakina, but in the sort of Iranian and in the Arab continents, it's she's referred to as Sayyidah Ruqayya. Why is there this difference?
Well, it's interesting you should raise that because, yes, Sayyid Umar has spoken about it quite a bit. What it is basically is that the Arabs, Iranians, I guess, and everyone who isn't from an Asian subcontinent, they think that, or they say that Sayyidah Ruqayya is a different person completely to Bibi Sakina. And the reason that Sayyid Umar says that is because if you look at how old, we say that Bibi Sakina was a young girl. And so when they said to her, when she cried for her father, because she slept on, you know, things like she slept on the chest of her father, she was very close to him. When she cried for her father, they used to say to her, the women used to say to her that your father has just gone away, that he'll be coming back. And so obviously a girl who was perhaps 5, 6 years old, would be innocent enough to to just believe that, to really think that that's the case. The difference is that if you look at how Bibi Sakina was said to have spoken in comparison to Sayyidah Ruqayya, it's very much like Sayyidah Ruqayya says her words are very poetic and very intelligent. So it's hard to believe that someone from what she says, someone like her would actually believe that her father has just gone away, considering they're in the midst of war, considering what's happened around them, that it's very unlikely she would believe that. So one sounds very mature and quite intelligent and poetic, the other one sounds quite young. So that's why they're seen as two separate people, whereas I think people from Asia believe that they're one person.
Okay, so are you saying then they're not the same person then, that they are two different, so if that's the case, where is Bibi Sakina buried?
I'm not sure actually. What's your stance on this?
Well, when I went on ziyara last year, and the times that I've been as well, the Sheikh, the Sayyid that was with us, actually explained that they are the same person, the same girl, and actually she had two names, two titles. I don't know. It's interesting. There's different takes on lots of things, I suppose.
Oh right, well that's interesting. I haven't heard that from anyone. I listen to Say the Mar a lot, and so I've always thought of them as two separate people, but you never know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, maybe something that we can further think about and explore and research. Well, I look forward to your next instalment of your video Ziyara journal. Okay, so that actually brings us to the end of the show. We hope you enjoyed the show and took benefit from it. And inshallah, we will see you next week. If you have any comments or any suggestions about the show or anything that you want us to do for future shows, then please do feel free to email us at morningbreak@ahlalbayt.tv. We would love to hear from you. So this week, from myself and Humera, Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum, my name is Sidra and I'm your life coach. This week's topic is all about mastering yourself and how to take responsibility for your actions and your non-actions. One way is to take charge of or need any help, drop me an email and I would be happy to answer them. Assalamu alaikum.
Wow, mastering yourself. I mean, this fits in with our hadith that we talked about earlier, doesn't it? And I really like how she talks about that concept of Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to the final segment of the show. As with every week, now it's time for us to go to Sister Sidra Zaidi and find out what tip she has for us this week.
Your life and mastering yourself is to have a clarity of purpose and knowing exactly what is your intention for doing anything. Unfortunately, in this world, we do so many things and spend so much time in doing things which are not in alignment with our real vision. So next time you do any task or commit yourself to do anything, ask yourselves these two questions. For what purpose am I doing this, and what would this get you? And once you get the answer and you're satisfied with it, only then commit yourself or do that task which is in alignment with your real mission. Good luck with that. And if you want any further information,